Song of the Kundalini. Dance, cobra, dance. Thy burrow seek and witness the bliss of grace in wild display. Dance, cobra, dance. Keep closed the foot so lotus red, sacred of the Lord who dawns the crescent moon and cassia bloom. And dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Besmeared with ash and bright his holy form shines. Thy tears for him in streams do shed. And thus steadily, dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Upon this burning ground, where ghost and also corpse are born, united well with what subsists, its counterpart supreme. Dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. The tresses of hair so fragrant, excelling flowers of sweet aroma. In shade they lie within you. Beside this beauteous form, which view, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. A spotted leopard skin surrounds his form of tender bloom. Within the self he dances, say, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Upon the silver hill what gleams as Vedic wisdom's quintessence, say, that in me is dancing too, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. He for whom a sportive snake an ornament becomes, his home it is in us, so dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. No one has seen, not he of blossoms bloom, nor even that holy garlanded one, this flower form of thine, so dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. AUM and all the rest that form the essence of 10 million charms. We now do know and so keep on, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. To the one who conjures down, who all things here brings out, to his leaf tender-footed here, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. From lettered charm of Shiva praise, to every formula of truth, even from sound did they come out, so dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. 10,000 millions of that Ananta snake art thou. Thy million hoods then open out, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. This body here no truth it has, owner another and it resides. Such wisdom do thou gain, and thus dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Uniting body and owner two. Radiant, who abides as one. Such there is to know, as well, so dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. What swallows all, with rival none. Such is the omnipresent word, which swallow thou, and steadily. Dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Consuming all the words there are, as the supporting wall for all. Even on such do take thy stand, and dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. From very name this great expanse, and even earth as well did come, as a presentiment in thought, so dance, cobra, dance. Dance, cobra, dance. Kundalini is the seat of the Kundalini, which is often spoken of in yoga as a snake lying coiled at the base of the vertebral column. It is supposed to represent a ganglion, plexus or storehouse of nervous energy which irradiates upwards to the higher centers of the nervous system. Although anatomists have tried to locate this Kundalini Shakti, basic nervous energy, in histologic, organic or functional terms more precisely in modern scientific language, all such attempts remain unconvincing and resemble the efforts of a pseudo-science. For the very simple reason that this psychic energy is not reflected directly in objective organs or functions. The subjective and the objective come together here, hand in hand. As the methodology and epistemology of the Vedanta would necessarily require. Where inner and outer values are spoken of together, a certain vagueness is bound to be present. At least according to the objective standards of science, with its great stress on what is visible. Under suitable attitudes and spiritual disciplines known to yoga, the coiled-up snake at the base of the vertebral column is capable of uncoiling itself. The roused-up serpent power then reaches higher and higher levels, touching or attaining successive plexi. Often referred to as lotuses or central points from which nervous energy of a spiritual order radiate. Of these, the highest ranking is somewhere at the base of the brain. Beyond the soft palate, which the tongue's tip, when trained, can touch and stimulate. This is the center of the thousand-petaled lotus Sahasrara Padma. Of the full radiance of positive wisdom in which all relative knowing becomes absorbed. This is like the burrow of a snake situated on high. And when the snake reaches this home on high, it is lost inside it, and all, becoming, is absorbed finally in being. Such is the imagery underlying this composition. The cobra, charmed by music, lifts its hood and swings and sways in response to it like a dance or play. This is a familiar sight on the Indian scene and affords the author an apt literary device around which to build his mystical doctrines and philosophy of the self. The whole process is attended with a certain sense of exaltation, joy or bliss which the yogi feels. Like a poet or artist who reaches out from one sublime vision of the psychophysical universe to another, one higher or still more superb. In order to appreciate the suggestive meanings of mystical import in this naive-looking form of poetry, one has to be sufficiently familiar with the dancing Shiva legends. The bronze of Natarajan, now so well known in the West, represents this dance, which is both cosmological as well as psychological in symbology. Fused into one creative image based on the myth or prehistoric personality of Shiva, such as we have traced in our earlier chapters. Snake symbology has been in the tradition of many lands. Crete and Egypt as well as India, where the tradition still lives on. The snake, cosmologically, is the principle of time, continuity, or eternity. Adi Sesha and Ananta, the cosmic serpent of time, are two well-known snakes of mythology. Inseparable attendants upon Vishnu, and whose long coils form the couch upon which this form of the divine principle reposes. With Shiva, the snake comes in as an ornament worn round the neck of this cosmo-psychic god. It represents again the principle of becoming, memory or time, with a personality of its own which may be said to represent some mystical attitudes on the lines of the Kundalini snake we have already referred to, particularly in the yoga context. In the present composition of the Guru Narayana, the snake symbolizes the soul or self in its progress. It represents aspects of the numinous and the absolute made living and real for purposes of helping to explain mystical doctrines, over which otherwise we should be obliged to pass in silence. The whole composition should thus be treated figuratively as explanatory, by an apt literary device, of some aspects of word wisdom. The verses are meant to be suggestive mystically, and belong to the world of intuitive imagination. And therefore we shall refrain from explanation in cut and dried doctrinal terms. The elusive and ineffable character of the style is meant to be left untouched by mere logical analysis. We shall confine our remarks to show on the one hand how the lines can be dovetailed into a context of self-knowledge, and on the other hand to indicate the symbology which has grown traditionally around the personality of Shiva in India. Shiva symbology pervades prehistory and comes to us even in the West through the Dionysian mysteries and frenzies into the heart of Christianity itself, especially in its mystical aspects. perennial philosophy and mysticism with contemplative visions contain elements of this wisdom which we see represented in this example of the Guru's writings. Dance, Cobra, dance. Thy burrow seek and witness the bliss of grace in wild display. Dance, Cobra, dance. While the psyche seeks realization in terms of perfect self-knowledge, the phenomenal world is seen as a presentiment to the self or the will. In the process of transcending this visible phenomenal aspect, the psyche takes a dispassionate view of the whole and witnesses it without particularized emotions, but with a global sense of bliss. As electricity implies magnetism secondarily, the phenomenal is secondary to the main search for truth in terms of self-knowledge. The display is here referred to as wild or meaningless because the values involved in the field of the relative are all evanescent, tantalizing and elusive. They have no substratum of reality except in terms of knowledge, which is the main object of the search by the aspirant. Ado, here rendered, dance, could be equally, play, or, swing. This swinging movement reflects the movements in the phenomenal aspects of life which also alternate. Kuthu is any exhibition of dance, implying movements without much meaning, here translated, wild display. Keep closed the foot so lotus red, sacred of the Lord who dawns the crescent moon and cassia bloom, and dance, Cobra, dance. The clear tender light of the crescent moon has always been associated with the cosmic picture of Shiva who wears the crescent on his dark knotted hair. The cassia flower is also held traditionally to belong to the Shiva context. It might have some prehistoric associations with the personality of Shiva. Saraswati is often addressed as one who lives in the forest of Kadamba trees. The red lotus foot suggests that subtle aspect of creation, tender and ruddy, like oxidized mango leaves in the Indian spring. In all references to the foot in this symbolic language the ontological aspects are implied. Whereas references to the head signify teleological or transcendental meanings. The light of the crescent moon thus refers to the latter. Both foot and head aspects meet in the personality of the dancing Shiva. Besmeared with ash and bright, his holy form shines. Thy tears for him in streams do shed. And thus steadily, dance, Cobra, dance. Holy ashes are associated with the Shiva symbolism. The burning god is the favorite haunt of Shiva. This indicates that death and its terrors have first to be transcended for spiritual attainment. Vitalistic levels fall short of the implied vision, while the light gray ashes are the pure residue remaining after all the vitalistic elements which cling to the instinctive personality are burned. Passions and emotions have all to be sublimated and surpassed. This burning of the instincts does not destroy the essential principle of the self as pure consciousness, which is immortal and which lives on in a life that is eternal, as accepted by many theologies. This uncompromising renunciation of Shiva has its counterpart in the tenderly emotional attitude of the seeker, which is here depicted by the tears which the snake is asked to shed.